Well, guys, it's finally upon us. Good or bad, Game of Thrones series finale is tomorrow. It's about 24 hours away at this point, and I'm excited. I am on the edge of my seat. I'm very curious to see what is going to happen next. And I don't think a lot of people are going to be satisfied with the ending of the show, because a lot of people are never truly satisfied with anything. This is the age of the internet. Everyone's going to complain about something. You're never going to be able to please anyone or everyone, and that's just the way things work out. But I wanted to give you guys at least my predictions for how I feel the series is going to end. And you know what? I mean, it's going to be wild. So let's just kind of make our way down the list. Jon Snow. You know what? I can't say he's going to win. I can't say. I think my the storyteller in me is looking at what's been laid out and where things are going, and ultimately I feel like he's probably going to end up, he's going to probably end up on the Iron Throne. That's probably where it's going to go, but they could subvert expectations. But my prediction is that they are going to probably play it out with a happy-ish ending and leave it bittersweet that he's going to be ruling, even though he doesn't want to. But it does appear that fate is pushing him in that direction. Daenerys, now the Mad Queen. Oh, she dead. She's so dead. I can't tell you who's going to kill her. I don't think it's going to be Arya. I'll talk about that here in a minute. But I do think that it's probably going to end up being Sansa or Brienne or Jon that ultimately takes her out. Or we could go full on meta here. And I've been running with this theory in my head that really Gendry is going to be the one that does it. And I will talk about that. So Sansa is going to end up being the Queen of the North, or the Lady of Winterfell. I think she's going to be up there. I think that's where Sansa's going to stay. I don't think Sansa's going to die, but I think that she's going to be in grave peril throughout the entire series finale, based upon her telling Tryion and setting everything that happened into effect. And that was basically that wasn't even basically. Daenerys straight up was all like, Sansa got Varys killed, which also means that Sansa got all of them people burned to a crisp in King's Landing. So obviously Daenerys is going to go crazy for that, which is going to be a very big part of the finale, of like the climax of the finale is going to be situation with Sansa. This is where I think Arya is going to try to kill Daenerys. I think Arya is going to try to kill Daenerys in order to protect Jon and to protect Sansa. And in the process of this, Arya is going to die. Arya is going to be killed by Daenerys or by the dragon or something. And that could lead into the Gendry thing, which we'll talk about. Tryion is going to live. Tryion is going to live just by the skin of his ass, and I think him and Sansa are going to end up together. They basically hinted at that in the crypt a couple weeks ago. That's what I think about that one. Sam is going to end up going back to King's Landing and running the Citadel. He's going to be doing that whole thing, I'm pretty sure, with Gilly and the two kids. Gendry, this is where we get crazy into crazy theory territory here. I started thinking about how the show was always hinting at Daenerys turning into her father, how she always kind of rebelled against being her father, but at the end of the day, still was her father. Then I started thinking about Gendry Baratheon. Now he is Gendry Baratheon, but before he never really thought much of who his father was, but he still very much has a lot of the same charisma and charm and fate that his father had, right? Well, what led all these characters on the path to the Game of Thrones? That would be Robert's rebellion. When him and Ned picked up swords against the Mad King Aerys and led a rebellion to take over King's Landing and everything else in the process. And I think that when Arya dies, when a Stark dies, a Baratheon is going to step up because he loves her, and he's going to fight back against the Mad Dragon. That's essentially what happened in what led into everything. Robert loved Lyanna. Lyanna loved Rhaegar. We didn't know about that till season 6, but that's what's caused Robert's rebellion. And I think ultimately Gendry is going to be the one that leads it. So it could also be that Gendry is the one who does in fact kill Daenerys, which I think would be very interesting and very appropriate, very, very appropriate. Now that the Kingslayer is dead, we could potentially see that another Kingslayer is going to be coming out of this. Brienne is going to probably die defending Sansa. I don't think Brienne's gonna live. That is unless Tormund comes back with Ghost. The wildlings help protect the North, which could happen. I don't think we're done seeing Tormund yet. And then at that point, she realizes that Tormund would never leave her side to go off and buff his sister. And so she realizes that the dude who killed a giant and then drank his wife's breast milk is the guy for her. smells and all. I don't know, but I am thinking that Brienne is going to die. Just feel kind of right on that one. Tormund, he's gonna live. I got nothing else on that one except Tormund's gonna live. Davos is gonna live. I think Davos has come close to death so many times that Davos ultimately is going to definitely win. And then he's gonna live. But a lot of this also kind of hinges on Bronn, because remember, Cersei had to promise Bronn a lot of money if he would kill with both Jaime and Tyrion. And as a result of that, he was like, hey, listen, you give me what I want and I won't do anything. I want you guys to know that your lives are in my hand. Now Cersei and Jaime are both dead, and Bronn's got nothing except his wit, his charm, his attitude, and his relationship with Tyrion. And I think at the end of it, Bronn's going to come back and help out his buddy for a price. And Lannisters always pay their debts. That's why I think Tyrion's going to live, and it's going to be because of Bronn. And that just seems to make the most amount of sense for me. Bran, I believe, is going to absolutely live, and he is going to very much become the Three-Eyed Raven and stay in the North and help whoever becomes whoever sits on the Iron Throne, whether it is in fact Jon or Sansa, because at this point, and maybe even Robert, or maybe even Gendry, but allow them to very much kind of rule. And I think it's, an unmitigated time of peace and prosperity in Westeros is what I think they're alluding to. And then, clearly there's Grey Worm at this point also. And I know I left him off the list. I just realized that. But Grey Worm, he gonna get it. He turned now. Grey Worm turned. He's full blown in Daenerys' corner. So he's going to get taken out. Maybe Brienne. Maybe that's how Brienne goes. She fights Grey Worm because he is very, very, very skilled fighter. She's a skilled fighter, and that she might have to protect Sansa, and that could be exactly what Grey Worm is going to go kill because Daenerys tells him to, because Sansa's loose lips sink ships and all that kind of stuff. So those are my predictions for how tomorrow is going to play out. When I predicted the Battle of Winterfell, I was pretty spot on. So I think I'm going to be pretty right here. If you're wondering how I know this, I know there's leaks that are out there, supposed leaks. I haven't read them. I don't know. I haven't looked at any of them. But looking at how a lot of these shows tend to end, and looking at how a lot of these types of stories tend to wrap up, and looking at the previous writing of the show and how I would write these characters, is how I'm coming to my predictions, just so we're clear on that front. But anyway, I want to hear your thoughts and your predictions about who's going to win the Iron Throne, who's ultimately going to be the victor of the Game of Thrones. And please, if you know any of the leaks that have come out, keep them on spoiler territory here. Just don't post them, and also if you are going to post in the comment section, be very careful about what you read, because I may not be able to get to everything because I don't want to spoil it for myself. I'm just being real, keeping it 100, folks. Anyway, your thoughts, your opinions, let me know. I'll talk to you guys later. Have yourself a great day, and peace out.